All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where we have potentially another super fight in the making. A little bit down the road, but it's there nonetheless. And much like the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight, it is not something where the conversations are going to go away. They're going to increase. Terence Crawford was approached privately by a host of a podcast called $1 Million Worth of Game. And he had a reaction to how the host, WALLO, behaved with the information provided to him in that conversation, and the fact that it was telecast to the world. In this conversation was Terence Crawford, WALLO, and one of the most sensational young fighters that we have seen come along in a very long time, Jaron Boots Ennis, who is, in my mind, without a doubt, at this point, the number 2 welterweight in the world. And as a result of being the number 2 best welterweight in the world, is owed an opportunity to prove that he is the best. And he can only prove that. And Terence can only prove that he is the best welterweight by fighting him. That statement may sound funny to you, but it's the truth. And that has been the truth in boxing for a very long time. That when you are the champion, you must take on all comers. Whether you think they deserve it or you don't think they deserve it, when they are ranked number 1 and named your mandatory, that is what they become. Let's talk about, though, what Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis and the exchange, what took place in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. I had an intro that was a little longer than I usually do, but hey, you gotta speak the flow, how it comes to you and what you think is important when you do the videos. What I think is important right now is to thank you for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel if you like the content. If you don't like the content, hit the thumbs down button and don't do that. If you do, though, subscribe, hit the like button. If you are a longtime supporter or a recent supporter and you enjoy the content and you support the channel, most importantly, supporting the channel, and the super thanks below is a great way to do that. You all are the reason I'm able to have these discussions, and I so much appreciate your ear for the discussions that we have. So, all right, look, gotta say thank you to the sponsor of this video, Boxing Showtimes app, and I want to introduce you to this really great app for hardcore boxing fans that want to know everything that's going on in boxing. It's a very accessible app right in your hands that you are able to see all of the upcoming fights that are around your neighborhood, the ones that are going on at bars near you, boxing updates, boxing news, boxing profiles, tales of the tape, boxing tickets, official highlights, official replays. You got a dark mode if that's how you like to look at your screen, a bar locator, everything that you need to be to allow you the most access possible and information possible for the sport that we love. Also, there's a promotional code that you can use, Fanon that will allow you to have access to the premium features of the app, as well as a 14-day trial for the premium features of that app. Very inexpensive monthly fee. So make sure you guys go check that out. Does support the channel. Thank you. Terence Crawford, top fighter in the world, #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. And I don't think that there is any question about that whatsoever. Was in a text message between himself and a man that goes by the name of WALLO, who is a host of a magnificent podcast called $1 Million Worth of Game. He sent a text to Terence Crawford and said, "Congratulations, champ." Then he put in his message that Jaron Ennis is waiting. Now, why would he say that? WALLO is from Philadelphia. Jaron Ennis is from Philadelphia. Jaron Ennis is prodigious young athlete from Philadelphia. I do believe he's 30-0 with a slew of knockouts and every skill in the book. And most definitely as big a threat to Terence Crawford as there is in the 147-pound division or the 154-pound division that can be gotten by Terence Crawford. Some people may say that the biggest threat is the Jermell Charlo fight. However, here's the issue with that one. Jermell Charlo is going to go fight Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds, and he will probably not be looking back at Terence Crawford when he has that type of monetary gain to be made at this stage in his career. So if Errol Spence Jr. does not have a rematch with Terence Crawford, or if he does and Terence Crawford wins the fight and continues to fight at 147, Jaron Ennis is a very legitimate challenger for him, regardless of whether you think people are saying this because they are sore losers because Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence. Jaron Ennis, and I know this may be very hard to conceive, is a completely different person than Errol Spence Jr. is. They live in different houses. They have different bodies. They have different trainers. They even have different names. So, just like every other champion, Terence Crawford, if he does not retire, will have to fight somebody. And since you are the undisputed champion, he is the undisputed champion, he must fight the best contenders available, of which Jaron Ennis is he. However, Terence Crawford says to WALLO, "You must want another dead body." And then WALLO sends the message to Jaron. And Jaron says to Terence, in response to Terence's comment, he's capping for y'all. He's just trying to move to 154. He's not trying, I'm paraphrasing, he's not trying to see me. He knows he's a walking victim. So, and then he talks directly to Bud. So stay at 147 and let's get active. Now, trust you me, Jaron Boots Ennis can get active. Just like Terence Crawford can get active. The issue is whether or not Terence is going to fight him. It is not a question of whether or not Jaron Ennis deserves that fight. He most certainly does, because that's the rules of boxing. He is the IBF interim champion, of which Terence Crawford is the full champion, and that qualifies him to fight. He does not have to like you. You do not have to like him. It is completely irrelevant that Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence Jr., or whether or not you feel that people that want to see the fight are just sore losers. He deserves that fight. Now, what was Terence Crawford's reaction? He did not respond back to that text. And guess what? He did not respond back to that text at all. And and he had the opportunity to do that before it was released to the public. Later, he makes a statement in public about how he doesn't like the fact that they released that information. However, that information in that conversation, he still did not respond to Jaron Ennis in that text. So he saw the statement from Jaron Ennis and said nothing to Jaron Ennis, which tells you more than likely he does not want to get in the ring with Jaron Ennis. Now, you can assign a reason for that. Jaron Ennis did, which he said he's fronting. He's going to 154, which we know he will with the Errol Spence Jr. rematch. But still, that is not, in this new term that people throw around, clout chasing or something he doesn't deserve. Terence Crawford may very well win that fight and win a fight against anybody. But if Terence Crawford will win a fight against anybody, hey, you might as well do it against the best guy you can do it against, right? That's what undisputed champions, two-time historic level undisputed champions should do. Ali did it. Every young buck that jumped up, Ali slapped him. Every single one, until the man had Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's, and then he still got in there with him. So don't tell me that Terence Crawford is above fighting a young man like that. So we can really see between the two of them, not speculate, know who the best is between the two of those fighters on that night in that ring. But that's just my take. Thank you very much for listening. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.